4th of July American League West Series ends tonight at the Big A with the Rangers and the Angels. Texas has won the first 2 series this year in Arlington. A win tonight awfully important for the Halos to cut into that Rangers confidence and momentum. Well, tonight's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 177 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. Welcome, and we salute you.
Those are the real gamers. That's right, folks. We're happy to have you with us, man. This game is for first place, but you're playing for keeps.
Angels and Rangers both at 46 and 36. Here's the Rangers batting order. Omar Vizquel will take over for Kinsler at second base. Then Young, Hamilton, and Andrew Jones, whose 382nd tied the game last night, and he is 10th among active players. Big flies. Blaylock, Bird, Murphy, Teagarden, and Elvis Andrus. On the mound for the Angels, Irvin Santana. His record just 1-4 with a very high earned run average, 7.43. Last year went to the All-Star game.
But it's been a different story this year. He had a little elbow problem in spring training. They shut him down for a while. He came back, and then they had to shut him back down again. So he's been an inconsistent year for Irvin. But his last time out, I like the way the ball came out of his hand. It looked good, free and easy. So did Mike Scioscia. Fastball command is important. Get the secondary pitches over, but getting ahead of batters, especially this Rangers offense, is awfully important.
Omar Vizquel pops it up center field. That's Gary Matthews Jr. out there. Torrey Hunter, we told you, has a bit of an ab and groin problem, so he will be out tonight. We'll see how he is on Friday.
And it's nice to have Ian Kinsler out there, too. Juan Rivera's out there. Matthews Jr., fresh legs. Go ahead. You got to have somebody like Jr. to come in and help him out. Biggins, Ibar, Sturris up the middle. Jeff Mathis getting the call for Irvin Santana. Camo, Bam Bam. Kenny Morales is at first base. This game is for first place and an opportunity for the Angels to establish their home turf territory by winning a series from the Rangers, which they haven't been able to do this year.
That's right. It's really been crazy. Tonight is the rubber game of this 3-game series with the Rangers. And there is a fly ball struck to right field, drops in front of Bobby Abreu. It's a base hit for Michael Young, so a one-out single for Young. But the Angels are trying to avoid a 4th consecutive series loss to the Rangers going back to last year. The Halos have not dropped 4 straight series to Texas since losing all 4 series meetings in 1996 when the Rangers won the West.
Okay, now Abreu took a step and a half back on contact on that Michael Young single there. That's the reason he couldn't come in and catch that, so he misread it.
Here is Josh Hamilton. Swinging a ground ball. Morales could be 2. There's 1. Ibar's return. Not in time. Hamilton runs too well. 2 outs.
At least they got him out. Or they got the runner out. He didn't get a base hit, but you know he's been scalding hot. 5 hits in 2 games now since he come back from the DL. But Morales looks good on this play. A little bit off the mark there. Ibar, he couldn't quite get the throw because he didn't get his feet underneath him there with a sliding runner. So far, so good. They're making early contact. Early countouts mean less pitches thrown. That's good for Morales. Irvin. Young Irvin. Fastball, slider, change.
He's been back and forth from the rotation to the DL. He missed 6 weeks with a right elbow strain in April to mid-May, and then hurt again in June with triceps discomfort. His last start did not go well, allowed 6 runs in 5 innings, even though he was hitting 94 miles an hour. And there is a smash to left center field, and Andrew Jones is wearing out the Angels. Where was this guy last year?
Ooh, man, but I don't know, but he's hitting 1 home run every 14 at-bats. If he had enough ABs to qualify, that'd be 4th best in the league. Right away, he picked that first Irvin fastball that was belt high, 2-0 Rangers. That's what I'm talking about. They've got some power in this, and that's a ball right down the middle on a tee. He knew it.
He hit a first pitch curveball last night in the 5th inning that tied the game at 3. So once again, they've gotten to Santana in the 1st inning. 2 runs in, 2-0 Texas. He just had a horrible year last year with the Los Angeles Dodgers, batting .158. His confidence was way down, but It's been lifted here in Texas with now 12 home runs.
Whenever you bring up last year, he says, that was last year. It's over.
But there wasn't much interest in Andrew Jones in the offseason in Texas. Just signed him to a sweet deal for themselves. Hank Blaylock.
A guy with
changeup.
A guy with Andrew Jones's kind of experience, you know, that's baseball is muscle memory, especially when it comes to hitting. And when you've got a lot of experience, even at 32 years old, it can come back and click with a few big homers, and he's been doing that for the Rangers. So is this guy. Blaylock's been a tough out in this series as well.
That ball roped to right field, and this is looking a little like Baltimore in the fact that the velocity is good. The break on the slider looks like it's good, but the command is way off. I mean, that's two pitches right down the middle. One to Jones that was hammered for a home run, and now this one to Hank Blaylock.
All right, 5 for 10 now in the series is Blaylock. Okay, another nice Exmo swing by Howards. Shows you how he stayed down on that ball. It was a pitch that was down away from him, but he was able to barrel it up, largely because he's hot and he's confident.
Slider misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Marlon Byrd having a heck of a year, batting .288 with 7 home runs and 42 RBIs. Usually in the past he was a platoon player where he might get 300, 350 at bats a year, but now he's playing every day. Good results.
The Angels are going to have to come back again. Now they have the second best mark in comeback wins, 24. The Yankees are just 1 win better with 25, but you can't expect you're going to be able to come back all the time. However, it's just first inning, so it's a lot of game to be played, and the Angels offense usually get to Padilla at some particular time.
That's a broken back ground ball. Figgins has to avoid it, the bat, and take the baseball and get it to second base and record the out. But a 2-run home run by Jones has given Texas the lead. Here's the Angels batting order brought to you by AM/PM. Figgins is Turris Abreu and Juan Rivera. Look what he's done the last 47 games. A big wow there with 15 big flies. Morales, Matthews, Kendrick, Mathis, and Ibar round out the Angel 9. And on the hill for Texas, the 8-year veteran of the big leagues, Vicente Padilla from Nicaragua.
Vicente, Angels know him well. They faced him several times. He's got a mid-90s fastball. He'll get up to mid-90s, but he's comfortable in the low 90s. He's got a curve and a slow one. I mean, he has one that he'll throw 65 miles an hour. It's almost like an Ephus pitch. Slider and a changeup. Likes to come after guys and does a pretty good job of fielding. holding runners.
Fastball is upstairs to Sean Figgins, who's on the ballot for the All-Star game. One of 5 players that can be voted on by Thursday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. You can go online, angelsbaseball.com or MLB.com, and vote for Figgy.
It's a tight race, too. It's going to come down to this final vote this tomorrow. Thursday's the last day. 12 Pacific? 1 o'clock Pacific, Fizz? What is it? Tomorrow, 1 o'clock
Pacific time.
All right, Angel fans, come on. We got to get him in there. That's not going to help.
Padilla gets a strikeout looking and really positioned that fastball well.
Big rarely takes the call third. Now defending behind him, we got good arms out there, all of them. They're all looking good. Now, it's Josh Hamilton in right field tonight. He's not in center field. But you got Andrus and Vizquel, 2 Venezuelans that have great hands. One, a Hall of Famer. The next, who knows? He's 20, but man, he's going to have a good future.
Here is Myceris Turris moving up to the 2 spot. The Angels do not have 2 players because of injuries. Torrey Hunter and Vlad Guerrero. Padilla really ripped that fastball in there at 97 miles an hour. Remember, Padilla is pitching on an extended 8 days rest as he was recently skipped in the rotation due to mild soreness in his right shoulder. He had been originally scheduled to start against Tampa Bay but scratched, and then was scheduled to start last night and scratched still because the arm wasn't ready. Well, he's coming out throwing BBs early.
And Dustin Nippert, he did a pretty good job last night. Especially the first few innings, he looked really good. They finally got to him like they do most guys, second, third time around. But early production is going to be important to stay in this game with the Rangers. And even without Torrey Hunter and Vladdy's bat in there, which is going to hurt him a little bit. Remember, they don't have Ian Kinsler. He's their top home run hitter with 20. So he's out. So it evens up a little.
Knocked foul. And Kinsler with 20 home runs before the All-Star break, and given the night off because the one hit he had in the last week was a home run, but that was the only hit he had. He's been swinging at some bad pitches.
It's a mental timeout for him tonight.
Then he got a double last night.
But you know, with Kinsler's 53 ribbies, that puts him on pace for 100, and there's only been one leadoff hitter in baseball history that had a 100 ribby season. And that was Darren Erstad back in 2000. So he's chasing Ersty.
That ball stroked in the alley right center field, and that will get to the wall. It's Turris racing for second base. He knows he's going to put the brakes on. A double with 1 out for Myceris Turris.
Ooh, I thought for a second, because that ball was hit in such a good spot between both fielders, and it didn't really laser off the wall. It took him a while to get to it, but as Turris says, you know what? I'm in scoring position. Stay hot. Mighty Myceris Turris with a double. 303 batting average is going up. That's a sweet stroke. Look, it's all hands, folks. They have very little lower body. Just use your hands, slap it out there. They make it look so easy, but it's all about muscle memory, I mentioned earlier, and repetition.
That replay brought to you by Howard's. Now Bobby Abreu, the batter. He's been a run producer recently. 35 RBIs last 35 games. He's hitting in the 3 spot because of Hunter's absence. I told you that Hunter with the ab groin injury, they're going to let it calm down. For Torrey not being able to go, it's significant because this guy is an absolute gamer. He has been evaluated by Dr. Louis Yokin, had an MRI today, but they did not reveal the MRI report to us earlier when we were visiting with Mike Scioscia.
Okay, Abreu, he's a 333 hitter. Career against Padilla, and Torrey Hunter is a 158 hitter. So says, you know what, he hadn't had a whole lot of success against Padilla. Why don't we just rest him? Managers sometimes will look at the stat sheets about what a certain player performs against another, and that helps him formulate his lineup for the day. But Padilla's a competitor. He's going to throw inside. He hits a lot of batters. He's hit 7 this year.
Drive to center field. Having to play it in a hot is Marlon Byrd. To throw home is a good one, so they'll hold his Turris at third base. Abreu comes through with a base hit, and the Angels have him on first and third with 1 out.
Oh, that was nice. Abreu, he's aggressive. He only saw 3 pitches, took the first one and swung at the next two because he wants to be a run producer and he knows what to do. Soft front step with that foot, stepping down low. That's good. Keeps his weight back and throws his hands. Setting up the table for probably the hottest guy in the American League as far as swinging the lumber.
The batter is Juan Rivera. Well, we were talking about Abreu's RBI numbers. This guy's #1. He has more than any AL player since June 1st. And Juan takes up and in. Ball 1.
Juan loves that fastball. He likes it anywhere from the belt to the ankles. I mean, he's going to take a good rip at it, but Padilla, you're going to have to mix him up a little bit. Juan's a .381 hitter against Vincente. No homers.
Great series. Both home runs came in last night's game. A loss. Again, up and in. 2 balls and no strikes. You don't want to make a mistake belt high with this guy. The kind of power he's been providing. 33 RBIs and 83 total bases. Both lead all American League players since June 1st. As Turris is at third. Abreu at first. Oh, that's to second base, and that could be 2 of 4. A 6-3 inning ending double play.
Ooh, just took the wind right out of their sails. Good jam shot.
The American Forces Network in 177 countries and ships at sea.
Can we say thank you for protecting our land here?
You know, I really want to land on a aircraft carrier. I know you've had the opportunity to do that. I want to join you
Twice.
next time. That would be cool.
Got to go for a courtesy night stay on the Abraham Lincoln.
David Murphy ropes a single to center field.
And the Nimitz, courtesy of Tim Mead, our tremendous liaison between the Angels and the Armed Forces. They arrange that, and usually in the offseason, Fizz will give you a call. But if you weren't out skiing the mountains of the Swiss Alps, you know, we might could get you on one of those. But you take those long vacations.
I believe it was in Big Bear.
You're missing out. Come on. Mine sounded better.
Yes, it did. Here is Irvin Santana to face Taylor Teagarden. Again, Santana, his command last year was so remarkable when he won 16 games, struck out the second most batters in the American League with 214, but he is finding too much of the middle of the plate, and they're hitting line drives off of him.
Yep, just a little elevation. You know, the Angels, they don't have the real depth in their pitching staff that they might have had earlier in the season. Palmer has done well, but his ruby slippers are kind of slipping off a little bit lately. He's been touched up some, so they're keeping Irvin here. In a perfect world, if we had a few other extra arms, Irvin would probably be down in the minors working on some things, but right now they say, hey, you might as well work on him up here and keep it down. That's been his problem so far. It's it's elevated.
The rotation is impressive by name when you think of guys like Escobar, Lackey, Santana, Saunders, but those guys have been struggling lately, and the only sure guy has been Jared Weaver. Lackey gave up 6 runs in 1 inning last night. We haven't seen John do that in like 4 years. Escobar obviously is on the DL. Santana coming off the disabled list. There's a pitch struck to Ibar. They've got a chance for 2, and they will get 2.
But those good hand speed for the Angels have up the middle. Ibar and Asturias have been fabulous. Howie Kendrick, he's the DH tonight for the first time all year. So these two guys really, if you ask me, they work the best together. Scioscia has Howie in there, and Howie's an adequate player and does a good job. But tonight he's going with Ibar and Asturias up the middle, and there's why. Good, nice little double play combination.
Now this shortstop will watch the Texas Rangers shortstop hit. Elvis Andrus having a heck of a year, one of the leading candidates for Rookie of the Year in the American League at the tender age of 20, the second youngest player in the American League to Rick Porcello, the 20-year-old starting pitcher for Detroit.
Very coachable. You know, and I had a chance to go in the Rangers dugout today and sat down with them while they were watching the Angels take BP, and Andrus and Vizquel were talking, and I looked at Andrus and I said, hey, you probably don't realize it, young man, after I introduced myself to him and told him that I was a broadcaster for the Angels. He had no idea I played the game and didn't have to, but I wanted to share with him about making sure that you realize that Omar Vizquel is truly one of the greatest shortstops of all time, and you have him here for just this season, not likely next. Cherish every moment with that guy. And now they're getting to play up the middle together. Ooh, man, Mike Riley's strike zone's pretty tight tonight. That's a good spot for Irvin. That's where he wants to stay.
I think if he comes back with that pitch consistently, it will be called a strike. The 2-2 pitch went with the slider, and it stays 2-2.
So Andrus, he lit up and had a great smile. I mean, he lit up. He's got a great smile. You know, of course, you don't see it when they're competing out here. And then I went on and was sharing some conversation with some of the other players, and Vizquel was telling him that I was a former player.
Whoa! Did he get it?
He thinks it did. Mike's not going to let him go. Irvin needs a punch out for confidence.
He's been all over the place. He's made some quality pitches, but his inability to repeat them.
And he punched out 5 against the Orioles in 5 innings, so he's got good stuff. We noted that. But just the command's a little rough. Nice.
That's a beautiful slider. So he missed by 2.5 feet with 1. Comes back with a perfectly located slider. be followed by Gary Matthews Jr. and Howie Kendrick. Time for the U.S. Marine Corps leaders of the game. Henry with a 12-game hit streak that ties his career best. Set 2 years ago. And there is another strike, and it is a 1-1 count. Padilla through 19 pitches, and 13 have been in that strike zone. And he almost hits Henry in the elbow. It's a 2-1 count. He'll do that. This is one of those guys not afraid of pitching inside. He usually is in the top 10 in hit batters.
He's got 7 this year.
And he's hit a lot of Angels in the past. That ball knocked foul.
Yeah, it was fun a couple years ago when, well, fun for us to say, but Vladdy got drilled by him. And, you know, Vladdy stared him down. Nothing happened. But then the next time he came up, he hit a big home run off him.
It was his very next at bat in the 4th inning. He hit a 3-run home run, and then Padilla would later hit another Angel, and both he and Buck Showalter would be ejected. Well, it's a 13-game hit streak now for Kendry Morales with a base hit back up the middle.
When you're on a hit streak, you get that hit first. Takes the pressure off. Okay, there it was, right on his hands. Dangerous spot. Now he almost got him. That was it. He warned him. Glad he took him deep.
That was something special. And then Rivera got hit. 7 players were ejected for the hit batters in the fighting. Mike Scioscia was ejected, Ron Renicky, Adam Kennedy, Brendan Donnelly, Kevin Gregg. But the Angels won the game 9-7, and Padilla gave up 6 runs in just 3 2/3. Gary Matthews Jr. up.
That's all the Angels care about tonight. A win. They want the series. They want to get a series win against these Rangers. They're going up to Seattle, Texas is, and they're taking on the Mariners. They are 5-0 against the M's. So the Rangers are dominating the West.
Well, Felix Hernandez goes tomorrow for the Mariners, and he hasn't lost much lately, but Seattle gave one away today. They took a 3-0 lead to the 9th inning against Baltimore, and the Orioles scored 5 runs in the top of the 9th to win it. 2 big errors by Jose Lopez in that one.
Well, we talked about Mike Scioscia when he made up the lineup card about Hunter hitting just a .58 off Padilla. Matthews hits .400 off.
And Gary Matthews Jr. with a line drive to right. It is caught by Josh Hamilton. Matthews making a bid for his 1,000th career hit, but not in this AB.
He wants to make it special. Maybe he'll homer next time up, but that ball was barreled up.
Home Depot doing more on defense.
More saving, more doing. Went to Home Depot myself today, as a matter of fact. Look at Josh Hamilton. I'm sure he's been to a Home Depot, but man, I'll tell you, look at that athletic roll. Young players, see how he rolled? He didn't land on his shoulder. Prevents you from injuries. And Home Depot might have a Band-Aid or 2 for you if you need one.
Yeah, because I'm sure that's the way you went after the light bulbs and their hoses and
I was on a mission.
Doorknobs.
Oh man,
he dove into the wood.
But it's exciting. Now let's see how Howie can respond just sitting on the bench and hitting all night.
He is the designated hitter for the first time this year.
So he's not fooling many Angels. And you mentioned his 8 days off. He's a little strong. You could tell by his velocity in the first inning that he knows it, and so does Taylor Teagard.
His last pitch, Rex, on June 29th, and that was against the Angels. And he started very well in that game, retiring 9 of the first 10 batters over 3 scoreless innings. Then the Angels got up for 1 in the 4th and knocked him out in the 5th. Fouled off.
Now he's been working mainly with Teagard this year. The other catcher, Saltalamacchia, he's out, but Teagard has caught 42 in the 3rd innings coming into this game, and he's given up a 5.53 ERA, but he's also thrown out 75% of runners. He's a very good catch and throw guy that is Taylor Teagard. And there's only been 2 stolen bases successful against Padilla this year, and 4 have been caught, and he has 2 pickoffs. So he's pretty good holding the running game down, especially with the good throwing young catcher back there.
This could be 2. It is. For the 2nd straight inning, a 4-6-3 double play ends it. Let's listen to him.
Nice. Fooling y'all, fooling everybody. Fooling them. I'm fooling them.
The only thing that's fooling us is your great talent, Toriano. He says he's fooling them, but he's been fooling them for a long time, and he's heading to the All-Star game. It is his third time going to the All-Star game. First with the Angels, went twice, 2002 and 2007 with Minnesota. Omar Vizquel, the batter.
Omar, even at his age, after 22 years, he still is a threat, but not like Kinsler. Kinsler can hit a homer easy. For Omar, he's a table setter.
Takes inside here. The count moves to 1-2. He has 2,679 career hits, and his 2,678th on June 25th pushed him by Luis Aparicio for most hits by any player from Venezuela. And a guy who's got a shot at it is the Angels' Bobby Abreu, passing him because Bobby's only 35.
Well, he certainly does, but anytime your name is mentioned with Aparicio, you're really somebody in Venezuela. And this is a real proud country. They love baseball. Soccer is a big sport there, but baseball is quickly rising, and they're a very proud country. I would say there's as many as 15% Venezuelans in this league, in the big leagues, on rosters. A lot of good ball players come from Venezuela. It's kind of like it's a hotbed for talent, like Southern California is in America, and Florida, Texas. A lot of warm weather climates produce better ball players.
It's become an international game when you can consider. Look at the Texas lineup: Vizquel, Venezuela; Young, California; Hamilton, obviously the States; Andrew Jones from Curacao, and the rest of their athletes from the U.S. except for Elvis Andres. The Angels pitcher is from the Dominican Republic, Urban Santana. This is low, but then you've got his Turris, Abreu, Rivera, 3 from Venezuela. Morales is from Cuba, and Eric Ibar from the Dominican Republic. International game.
It is, no question about it. And it's welcome.
That's a fair ball into the corner, so Vizquel setting the table well. And it is a leadoff double against Irvin.
Okay, that's a 9-pitch winner right there. And it ended on the chalk. So he did a great job milking pitches from Irvin, number 1. He worked him. And this is a guy that we talked about all the mileage he's got. He only has 74 at-bats this year. So he's, you would think he would be a little rusty. But, man, he had a mid-season at-bat right there. Looked like he had 250 at-bats.
Michael Young has shown a great ability to advance that runner because he is an inside-out hitter. He'll take that outside pitch to right field. Got a base hit to right field his first time up. Angels want to stay close because Texas has an offense that can go off. Second in the American League in home runs with 122. Second in the majors, I should say. The Yankees lead everybody.
Jeff Mathis, he says, look, if you get too much of a lead out there, old man, I'll pick you off. That's what that was. He gave a little body language there. I feel comfortable calling Omar old man because we're buddies. We're tight.
He is the oldest position player in Texas history. They did have some guy named Nolan Ryan, who was a pitcher who played a little longer.
Pitchers might go a little bit longer. They take care of themselves, but it's not easy. This game is not automatic. And we're talking about two, I want to say, freaks. Basically, you don't see guys that pitch and play over 20 years usually. Just a handful of guys. Maybe 2 handfuls, but not many.
Out to play right side, so Santana has the count back even, 2-2. Young, how's your approach this at bat right here?
I'm doing the same thing. I'm not going to change a thing that he ever does. That is, he tries to serve the ball out to right center field. That's his strength. But if he comes inside, he will pull it occasionally. But he sits off of the plate. He's off of the plate in this direction. So it's gonna open up a lane for him to shoot the ball in this direction. Got a good inside out swing. With 2 strikes on him, he'll be hacking. Doesn't want to get called out looking. He wants to pick up that steak.
Vizquela's going, and Mathis can't make the throw, so it will be a wild pitch by Irvin Santana.
Good try by Mathis. He's very athletic. Moves behind the plate well. Now it's going to not take quite as much to get him in. Sacrifice fly. That ball hit the corner edge of the plate.
Start has not gone well for Irvin Santana. Gave up 2 runs. First pitch home run to Andrew Jones in the first inning. Was able to get out of trouble in the second inning after a leadoff single by Murphy with a double play ground out by Taylor Teagard. But in this inning, a double by Vizquel. Now a wild pitch.
Counting on Irvin to get a punch right here.
Slider in there. Strike 3 called, and Michael Hewitt, he was starting to walk back to the dugout immediately as the ball crossed the plate.
Okay. Second strikeout for Irvin, and both of them looking. Fooled him.
Hey, Angel fans, be part of history on Thursday, July 23rd, as the Angels unveil the official 2010 All-Star Game logo. In addition to the unveiling, fans can purchase official 2010 All-Star Game apparel at any of the Angel Stadium merchandise locations. You wouldn't want to miss out on this historic night, so log on to angelsbaseball.com and purchase your tickets today. Tough batter up, and Josh Hamilton grounded out his first time up. The Angels have the corners in.
Hamilton swing, he didn't look too clear with his swing there. Irvin has got the ball's dancing for him pretty well. But if he can get out of this situation, it's going to be a big confidence booster for Irvin, especially in the middle of their order here.
Again, he's pounding him inside with that fastball. His velocity has been good. He will make several really good pitches, but when he makes a mistake, they're pounding him.
That's what good hitters do. They don't miss mistakes, especially up here.
What about the mistakes of a pitcher?
That's what I'm saying. If a pitcher makes a mistake out over, they're not going to miss it.
Ooh. But is Irvin making more mistakes, obviously, than he made last year?
Well, sure he is. It's because it's a big difference. Last year, he was ready to go from spring training on. Matter of fact, it was him and Saunders that were going to start the year in the minor leagues because of Lackey and Escobar were coming back, but they both got hurt. Saunders and Santana, they took that role and they ran with it, and they pitched extremely well. But this year's been totally different. Irvin's been on the DL twice, so he's trying to get his rhythm and is trying to find his location, his command, all that stuff. And so when he's making more mistakes than he did last year, obviously because of his timing. But they still feel, Mike Butcher says, he told me before the game, that they still feel that Irvin can keep him in games and help him win here. That's why he's here.
He's going for the strikeout here of Josh Hamilton. In the dirt, and that one will score the run. The second wild pitch of the inning by Irvin Santana. One to get Vizquel to third and one to score.
Well, those are gift-wrapped runs there. Well, this one there for sure. Mathis normally does a great job of blocking the ball, but you know, when the ball hops and when it bounces on the dirt, you can't, it's not going to be the same hop every time. That ball was a little bit in off the plate. There's some toe hold already where the guys have dug in, so it's not going to be exactly what you want, but that's what he wanted. Nice breaking ball.
So he has the strikeout, but a pitch too late, and here's the Alexis pursuing perfection. Andrew Jones, 3-run home run yesterday in the fifth, tied it. And then today it gave the Texas Rangers the early 2-0 lead.
Hey, Andrew Jones, his last 7 home runs, 5 have either tied the game or given the Rangers the lead.
So that was the 6th that gave him the lead.
That's right. He's been really hot, and Ron Washington knows it, so he's going to put him right in the middle of that lineup there so he can do what he does. Perfect DH. He still can play some outfield, though.
So he won a lot of gold with Atlanta.
But he has the power, and he did as an everyday player in center field. Not as a DH, good fit.
He's actually younger than the Angels' Torrey Hunter, but Hunter has kept himself, to be honest with you, in better shape. Got the fastball on his hands, and he took a rip at it, fouls it out of play. (3-0). Texas has the lead, scoring 2 runs in the first and 1 in the third. The Angels have helped out Vicente Padilla by hitting into double plays in the first and second inning. This is the 27th pitch of the inning, fouled off. Texas really did a great job making John Lackey for a lot of pitches last night. He had over 100 in his 5 innings, and in that 5th inning, after going in with a 3-0 lead, Lackey gave up 6 runs in the 5th.
Yeah, but I like Irvin, his velocity, his slider looks good. He's got 3 punch outs, and you know Josh Hamilton hasn't struck out since he's been back. I mean, he's throwing the ball good. He buckled Michael Young for a called third, so his stuff is good outside of a few elevated pitches. It's a nice change up there. Look at the depth that thing had. It had a good break to it, but the Rangers are a confident team.
Santana needs some more early count outs. He's already thrown 56 pitches. That ball is hammered down the left field line, and it is gone. Andrew Jones killing the Angels.
See, there's another elevated 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and he hit it a ton. The only question was it going to stay fair? And it did. Eric Cooper, the third base umpire, was sitting on the line down there, and he pointed fair. Hard for us to tell, but well, it just went by the pole. It stayed fair. He's hot, and the Angels are not. See, that's above the belt. That's not even a ball that should have been hit like that, but that'll just give the credit to Jones for being a hot hitter. And that's a 94-mile-an-hour heater he got. It was upstairs. That's impressive. So there's no question about Jones's bat speed.
4-0. Texas has the lead. Santana giving up 2 in the first, now 2 in the third. Angels rallied from 4-0 deficits on Saturday and Sunday to beat Baltimore. And Mike Scioscia's club is going to have to do it again. They have been hit by so many problems with their pitching staff, whether it's been in the bullpen or in the starting rotation.
It was earlier for the Pen. They've been pitching a lot better lately, but it's the starters who have had some rough times a little bit here, especially in this series. The Angels were one of the hottest teams. The Rangers were coming in. The Rangers were a hot team too. So now it's pitching is what's going to define the winner of this series.
Butcher doesn't like what he sees as Urban has thrown 35 pitches in the inning and only gotten 2 outs, and he had to strike both of those guys out, Young and Hamilton.
Looks like Rich Thompson's hopped up in that bullpen.
The Angels have had little consistency with their starting pitcher all year long. I mean, 12 starting pitchers they've used. That's a major league high. They've used 10 rookie pitchers, and that's why it's surprising what a job the coaching staff has done and the players to come together in spite all of the difficulties. Their season has been like a Wayne Dyer story. Excuses be gone. There are no excuses. Just keep on playing and grinding through.
That's the one word that would define a baseball season. Grind.
0-2 with the runner going. A swing and a miss, and Bird is out, but Santana knocked around, had to throw more than 35 pitches and gave up 2. Jones of old. And Vicente Padilla has himself a 4-0 lead to face Jeff Mathis, Eric Ibar, and Sean Figgins in the bottom of the third inning.
Pitchers love that early lead. To be pumping them fastballs in there. The Angels, they can come back. They've been hitting the ball pretty hard off him. It's helped that he's gotten 4 outs on 2 pitches. Fortunate with the double play ball.
Mathis pops it up left side. David Murphy. 1 out.
He scored 5 runs in the 5th inning against Padilla in Texas in that last start that he made against the Angels. And, so it could be done again. The Angels know that. They're going to have to get a few base runners on and get a big one.
Matter of fact, Texas led 2-1 through 5 before the Halos went to the plate and scored 4 runs off Padilla in the 6th on 5 consecutive hits.
It was the 6th they got him.
Yeah, but he had gone through 5 and he just didn't get 1 man out in that 6th inning. Eric Ibar up. The Angels infielders pulling up their pants, showing their socks today. Trying to knock off Texas, but they have fallen behind 4-0 early.
A little old school look in there.
Just basically outside 2-1. Detroit beat Kansas City today 3-1. They beat Zach Greinke. That Lucas French in just his 3rd major league start pitched a gem to beat Greinke in Kansas City. Zach gave it 3 runs in 6 innings, and there is a base hit to right center field. So for the 3rd straight inning, the Angels have a man on. It's now time for the Firestone leaderboard, and it's all about Mr. Figgins. He leads in runs scored in the American League. And how about batting average versus righties? Well, Ichiro at 367. Jason Kubel of Minnesota's at 346. And number 3 is Sean Figgins at 342. Sean Figgins, he talks about the people that have helped him the most in the past. And he starts with Rolando Fernandez, the Colorado Rockies director of international scouting, who taught him how to switch hit. So he's another one of those guys who came up from the amateur ranks and was told to switch hit as a pro. His great friend Juan Pierre, they came up together with the Rockies, and he said Juan taught him that you need to have a good plan. And he said your plan should start when you go to the gym and work out. How much time you spend running, how much time you spend lifting, how much time you spend working on your bunting or your hitting drills. Angels trying to stay out of a double play. They've hit into 2 in the first 2 innings. Strike in there.
And now Figgy took one in his last at bat for call 3rd, and that's a straight fastball from what it looks like from up here. It's pretty straight and it's firm. Those balls can go a long way if they're met properly. Met with a good, easy swing.
Time called. Vicente Padilla consistently has been in the mid-90s with his fastball, showing very little effects of that sore shoulder he had suffered the last week. Here's the pitch. It is upstairs at 90.
But he knew this was going to be a big start for him, but he wasn't exactly right yesterday. So Justin Nipper took the ball, went with it pretty well, ended up getting the win. But he's strong, but his fastball is up in the zone.
You know who was at the ballpark today? Jim Mudcat Grant.
Saw him.
Great pitcher for the Minnesota Twins, and Mudcat was telling me about a 13-hit shutout he had in 1965, and I said, how many double plays did they turn behind you? And he said, 5. Because he said, I was awful, but I had a 13-hit shutout.
Oh, that's amazing.
There's a blooper into center field. Bird has to play out on a hop. Quickly getting to second base is Eric Ibar, so the Angels have 2 on with 1 out for Myceris Turris.
Hey, there's that high fastball, same one that Ibar hit. So he's been up in the zone. I think Taylor Teagarden's going to go out, have a little chat with the veteran. Bat stayed intact. It was a little bit on his label, but he didn't hit it hard enough. If he did, Marlon Byrd would have made the catch. But you notice that AA on Vicente Padilla's hat. That's Alexis Arguello. He just passed away recently. He's a countryman of his, and he wants to show his respect for the great boxer. Nicaraguan.
Myceris Turris lashed a double his last time up. The Angels would love to have that because Ibar with terrific speed, same as Sean Figgins. And the Angels, with one swing of the bat, could get right back in this game.
So the Angels have power in the middle, even without Torrey and Vladdy. They got some guys who can get the job done over the wall, but they got the speed guys on now.
Goes soft away.
Hey, but you throw many of those straight fastballs to Asturis, he's going to hit it hard somewhere. Can't guarantee where it's going to go, because he hits it usually where it's pitched, but this guy's a fine player.
Bird shallow in center. A little bloop into center field. Will Bird get this one? Yes, he will. And the runners have to hold. That's the second out.
Yeah, that got in on him a little. He couldn't quite get it out. Padilla shaking his head saying, you know what? I got away with one there.
And the Angels, one of the best clutch hitting teams in baseball. They're hitting 288 and 279 with 2 out men in scoring position. Texas at 263. But the Angels tonight have not come through. A 4-6-3 double play with runners at first and third in the first inning. Now first and second. Pop up by Asturis. They're 0 for 2, so they need Bobby Abreu to come through. And he's hitting .345 with runners in scoring position. He's had a good homestand. 2 home runs in 1 game against Baltimore earlier this week.
Okay, Marlon Byrd, the center fielder, he's pretty shallow. That tells me that he's counting on Abreu hitting a line drive, or a base hit up the middle. He wants to get a chance to throw Ibar out. So when you're closer like that, you can close the gap quicker. Get to it better.
If he's playing back, does he have a greater chance if the ball is struck in the gap to keep Sean Figgins from scoring?
Yes, he does, but he's not counting on a gapper. Sometimes if you're an outfielder, you take a chance. And you take a chance by the way you feel. Even you'll move one step to the right or one to the left, and during each pitch, after a certain pitch, you can tell what the hitter's looking like, and you can make your own adjustments as an outfielder. He's taking a little gamble.
Playing shallow paid off for Marlon Byrd in the first inning because Asturis was at second base when Abreu singled up the middle, and the Angels had to hold Meiser. And the result was the next batter, Juan Rivera, hit into a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. With 2 out, would they be more inclined to send him?
No question. But this at-bat's not over. Abreu is an excellent 2-strike hitter. Marlon Byrd, he's a smart player and a good one. Always hustles all the time. You like to see effort from players out there. David Murphy in left field, Josh Hamilton. They've got a solid outfield, no question about it. Blaylock and Young on the corners. A couple young catchers. They're deep in the catching department.
Out of play, left side. It'll stay a ball and 2 strikes on Bobby Abreu.
One thing you can count on when Bobby Abreu steps to the plate every time is a good at-bat. Rarely do you see him waste one. Once in a while, he'll swing at the first pitch because he's already thought it out. He's already seen the pitcher once. He's got a good idea. He's going to get a good pitch to hit the first time. And he usually is successful when he swings at a first pitch. But right now, he's just trying to do it the best he can to chip one in there and get the Angels on the board. They got to score. They got to get a big hit.
Snaps it foul.
That's the pitch last night that Jennings struck him out on in a big situation. That big downer right there. And I think Teagarden said, all right, let's try to go with that one again. But he just got a piece of it.
There was a big pitch at a big time last night in the ball game. That was in the 6th inning with the bases loaded, and struck him out. Left the bases loaded. Angels would lose the game 8-5.
Had chances last night.
Again fouled off. So quite a duel between Vicente Padilla and Bobby Abreu. The 7th pitch is coming in this at bat, and still the count is the pitcher's way. Vicente Padilla has a 1-2 count.
Well, first base runner Sean Figgins, who's at first base hoping to score on a gapper. He studied films in the offseason of Bobby Abreu, Kevin Youkilis, guys who are in the top 2 or 3 in on-base percentage, and Figgy studied those guys, and he said that Abreu fouls off so many borderline pitches when he's got 2 strikes on him, so he waits for the cookie.
And he lines it to left field. Murphy's got a good arm. He's coming home. The throw by Ibar, not in time. Angels on the scoreboard.
Did I say he waits for a cookie? Fouls off all the tough ones? That's, he can even make a broadcaster sound good, because that's the at-bats this guy has. Unbelievable. That was a fat cookie right there. He waited Padilla out. He fouled off the tough borderline ones, the ones that Padilla was expecting him to swing and miss on, until he got one right down middle, right down Broadway. Abreu checks in and gets the Angels going.
The tying run now comes to the plate, and Juan Rivera hit into a 4-6-3 double play to end the first inning. Juan skies it in the air, center field. As he breaks his bat, Bird will take care of Rivera. The Angels do score a run with 2 out and make it a 4-1 ball game. Stadium in 1989. We'll give you the answer later in the ball game.
Hey, quit cheating. You're going to the book now. You're looking that one up.
I was just thinking, is that players selected by the fans, or is that pitchers? Because I know 89 was a good pitching year for the Angels.
I got a good guess on a position player, but I might be wrong. But I'm not cheating going to the book like you are.
Well, I just wanted to check out because I didn't think they had a great offensive year that year, Rex.
Mitch Reinhardt doesn't appreciate you cheating on him. He tries to stump us too.
I don't think it was. I wanted to make sure, was it the fans or was it the manager? We've got to let our fans know. Was it the fans vote?
Well, let me talk to Dan Snyder. Mitch is not here. It's Dan Snyder and Nicole who are helping us out there, so we'll have to clarify that.
The fans did not vote in 1989, so it was just a selection. Murphy fouls this one off. Remember, Angel fans, the Halos had very good pitching back in 1989.
Yeah, now this is all kind of a new era. You know, and you mentioned Mudcat Grant. It's great to see him, old timer. You know, and he talked about the history and how, you know, a lot of players, a lot of people don't know. And he's come out with a nice book.
I did not know this. There have only been 13 African-American pitchers to win 20 games. I thought there was way more than that.
He was the second. Don Newcomb was the first.
1-2 pitch on the way. A swing and a chopper taken by Morales, covering Irvin Santana. And there's one out. Baseball's biggest stars go head-to-head in the summer's biggest event as Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2009 MLB All-Star Game with President Obama throwing out the first pitch during the Pepsi All-Star pregame show. Coverage begins Tuesday live from St. Louis at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on Fox.
You know, Albert Pujols mailed me a bat for our All-Star party we're going to have that night.
That's your team up for Down syndrome party you're having right here at the Diamond Club on.
And it's all sold out the night of the All-Star game.
Yesterday.
Yeah, on night of the All-Star game. But you know, I went to there was a FedEx box and I opened it up quickly, and man, I'll tell you, I felt like a kid at Christmas. And that bat is beautiful.
Albert Pujols, the top vote getter for the All-Star game, almost 5,400,000 votes. And he's got 31 home runs and 82 RBIs, so I think he's very deserving at the break of going. He's also hitting .336. He could win the Triple Crown this year.
You can't get him out. He's dangerous.
I don't know why anybody pitches to him.
Oh, he's a right-handed Barry Bonds.
So what you're saying is you like to have fans go to the Team Up for Down Syndrome event in 6 days, Tuesday, watch the All-Star game, and you have a chance to purchase a bat like that. Here's a fly ball struck deep to center field.
Man.
Matthews going back, still going back, and that ball struck for a home run. Taylor Teagard makes it 5-1, and Santana getting lit up here in the through 4 innings.
Man, you know, I was talking with Kevin Millwood today. They were stretching. And I was pointing to Teagard, and I said, hey, that guy's a good receiver. Does he catch you much? He goes, no, Salter catches most of me, but if you make a mistake to him, he'll hit it out. He's got some good power. And there it was there on a breaking ball that Irvin's been fooling a lot of guys on. He met that perfectly.
Ground ball short. Eric Ibar has it. Quick toss. Got Andrus, and 2 outs.
Well, it's just a little trickle here or there of runs that they've been getting from the first inning on now. The only inning they haven't scored in is the second inning.
I don't think those big flies should be called a trickle. They now have 125 home runs, depending on what the Yankees did tonight. The Yankees beat Minnesota 4-3. They would be tied with New York. The Yankees with 125 home runs.
Did you see Josh Hamilton coming over to Taylor Teagard and said, was that a changeup? What was that?
It was bending down and away from Taylor. So obviously enough for him to reach it.
Nice slider.
And trickle it over the wall.
Exactly.
Omar Vizquel. Foul. So Santana obviously still does not have the great command that he showed last year when he won 16 games. Just has not been able to finish hitters off. When he makes a mistake, man, they have hit him hard. They now have 4 extra base hits in the game, and 3 of them have been big fly home runs. A 2-2 count to Vizquel. Rangers getting a little swagger, Rex, because they've won 6 of the 8 meetings against the Angels this year. This is the first series at the Big A. Angels won game 1 9-4, but in danger of losing the last 2. In the air, center field. Gary Matthews Jr. there makes the catch. Texas gets 1, and a solo shot by Teagard. 5-1 Texas. Chuck Finley, so they did send the offensive player, Devon White, who wound up with 44 stolen bases that year. And Chuck Finley, he had a pretty good year. Won 16 games with a 2.57 ERA. There's a drive to right field. Hamilton has a beat on it, makes the catch, and Morales is the first man out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Five to 1 Texas, and the Rangers have done it with the big fly home runs. Andrew Jones with his first multi-home run game in 3 years, and a solo shot by Taylor Teagard.
Now, in between commercials, I was just telling you, we haven't seen the slow Ephus curveball yet. And he threw one right there to Morales. And Morales, he hit one off him in Texas. The same firmness. He hit him hard, but he hit a double down the line.
He hit that one pretty well, but he just hit it at the wrong area where Josh Hamilton was. Fastball misses outside. And tonight, Marlon Byrd playing center field and Josh Hamilton playing right field. Do you think we could see more of that?
It's possible, because Hamilton, might have a little bit more all-out foot speed, but I don't think he's all that much quicker in first steps. Bird's a pretty good outfielder.
And we're talking about a 230-pound man playing center field who has been on the DL 9 times in his career. Not Byrd. Mr. Hamilton has been on the DL, and that's why Byrd cover more ground. I'm not saying more athletic, but Marlon has not been prone to injury like Josh has.
So they're going to hopefully slow down the traffic on him a little bit.
Padilla has not walked an Angel. 3-2. Okay, Matthews lined out his first time up.
He wants to swing the bat. He doesn't want to walk.
He wants to get number 1,000 way. His best year was with the Rangers back in 2006 when he went to the All-Star game, and check out the numbers. He also scored 102 runs. Foul off.
Okay, now that's a rare fastball we've seen that Padilla's put actually down in the zone below the knees. He's been missing upstairs a lot. Just can't really catch it.
Again out of play, left side. The count remains 3-2. Matthews happy to be back in there, and he is in there because of the injury to Torrey Hunter, who was groin. And the Angels, with tomorrow's day off, they can see how he feels on Friday when the Halos begin a 3-game series with the Yankees. But I'm guessing they may not have Vlad Guerrero.
No, Vladdy, there's no hurry to bring him back,
because they'll have the 3 games before the All-Star break, and then they have the 3 off during the All-Star break.
Matthews Jr., he's in there too because he's 10 for 25, 400 average coming into this game. He roped the first one. He's got a good AB here in the second when he's taxing him, pushing that pitch count up. Next one will be his 61st. Padilla has had his defense positioned just right for him.
Vicente Padilla's next pitch to Gary will be number 9 in this at bat. Checks a swing. Did he go? Did not. It's a walk. Base on balls for Gary Matthews Jr. So the Angels will continue this 4th inning. And fans, the Angels will once again be turning the clocks back to the 1980s for Retro Night on Tuesday, July 28th. All fans in attendance will receive a free Bobby Grich 1980s jersey t-shirt courtesy of the Home Depot. So dress up in your best 80s gear and have a chance to win cool prizes from the Angels. Purchase your tickets at angelsbaseball.com today.
Bobby Grich, one of my heroes.
I thought your hero was Billy Idol, because every time we had an 80s retro, you dressed up like Billy Idol.
Well, I just grabbed that promo out of your hand because I want to make sure to check that date. It's July 28th. It's another 80s retro night.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, it'll be exciting.
Howie Kendrick rolled into a 4-6-3 double play his last time up, and he swings and sends this one to center field. Marlon Byrd under it. 2 outs. So Howie having a bit of a challenge since coming back from the disabled list. He's 0 for 6 in this series and was 2 for 8 in the Baltimore series. to get that confidence back, that rhythm back, because he was such a great hitter in the minor leagues and showed glimpses of greatness last year, but also spent 2 stints on the disabled list because of hamstring problems. Here's Jeff Mathis.
In that final voting here, the voting is with Brandon Inge has taken a slight lead over Ian Kinsler in the voting. Sean Figgins is still third, but he's close. So folks, these players have registered at least 2 million votes apiece since Sunday.
And Figgy's not ashamed of telling everybody, hey, I'm voting for myself too. And all of his infielders are too. Myceris Turris was in that clubhouse voting for Figgy. He's got a lot of friends. I mean, everybody. How can you not like that guy? Look at that face.
Oh, but he leads the American League in runs scored. This guy's an extremely valuable part to the Angels team.
Yeah, we wouldn't be pushing him if he wasn't very deserving, and he is. Mathis down 0-2. Sean Figgins in the top 10 in batting and runs scored and triples and stolen bases. His focus on base percentage.
Yeah, his focus right now is on Padilla. Can't take his eyes off it. You know, these guys watch the pitcher all the time, whether they're in the dugout, near the bat rack, on deck, timing him. It's the key. Watch the pitcher's tendencies.
Padilla really takes forever when a guy gets on base. He's thrown 66 pitches in tonight's ball game, trying to get through the 4th. Rangers have scored 2 runs off Santana in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd, and 1 in the 4th. Angels got their 1 in the bottom of the 3rd. They've got a man on with 2 out. In the air, right side, Josh Hamilton. That'll do it for the Angels in inning number 4. Padilla leads it 5-1. Your Southern California Ford dealers and the new Ford Advantage plan. And by Jack in the Box. Right now, try the mini Buffalo Ranch chicken sandwiches. 3 mini home-style chicken fillets on toasted mini buns. Here at the Big A, Irvin Santana lasted just 4 innings and gives way now to Rich Thompson. Santana threw 79 pitches and gave up 3 home runs, 2 to Andrew Jones and 1 to Taylor Teagard. His velocity was good. Looked like his slider was pretty good, but his command was just like it was last start. And he got knocked around. So Rich Thompson comes out of the pen. His job, keep it close, has a 4.11 ERA. Turned 25 last Wednesday. kid from Hornsby, Australia, will deal with Michael Young, Josh Hamilton, and Andrew Jones.
Okay, he's got a nice fastball. You see it there. It'll go 90, low to mid 90s at times. Nice curve, and Mike Butcher's been working on a cutter with him, and he's been bringing that in. So several of the young relievers Butcher's been working overtime with to give him a different look, and it's been making some difference.
Young sends one up the middle. Ibar cuts it off and throws out Michael. 1 out. Angels bullpen has been getting better and better since June 12th, which is the time the Angels started the run of winning 17 of the last 24. Bullpen has been a huge piece to the puzzle because they have a 2.82 ERA since that time and have won 6 ball games.
That's right. So Mike Butcher, he comes to the ballpark each day. First, he checks on the minor leaguers.
That's smashed, and Morales has it on a tough hop and records the second out.
Ooh, there's a reason they use that big catcher's mitt. And Fizz, I got a question for you. Why are there only 2 baseball mitts on the field?
You mean the catchers and the first baseman?
Yeah. Why? Why don't they say it's a second baseman's mitt? They say it's a second baseman's glove.
Because it has the 4 fingers and the thumb with all the other fielders' gloves.
That's a good answer. It's like because it's like a mitt. It covers almost everything, all the fingers, and you're right on, partner.
2 outs. Andrew Jones, the batter, has hit 2 home runs, a 2-run blast in the first, and a smash, an absolute lightning bolt down the left field line that got way back into the left field seats for a solo shot.
You see how he took that pitch? He just stood there saying, okay, are you going to drill me? You going to come in tight? He was ready. He was ready for one. That's just from experience. In the National League, they do that a little bit more than the American League.
So are you suggesting that the Angels push him off that plate?
That's a good suggestion, but not, you don't have to hit him, but he's comfortable. He's diving out over. And that's the pitch.
He's taking some rips.
Oh man, I'm telling you, that's a good curveball. It was up there and he almost hit that one. Man.
Andrew does have a 3-homer game. Came in 2002 with the Atlanta Braves against the Philadelphia Phillies, and it was at the Phillies ballpark. Bounces that one in the dirt, a 2-2 count. The Angels have not been able to retire the Rangers in order tonight. They did get a double play for a inning that went 3, but Murphy led off with a base hit. Hit well left field, and back goes Juan Rivera, and Andrew Jones having a night to remember. 3 home runs. First 3-homer game in 7 years. Who is this guy?
Well, there's some Angel pitchers that are going to have to learn how to pitch effectively inside, or they're going to keep seeing this coming. Because the game is played, and you gotta be able to get one half of the plate. You just can't keep letting guys get up there and take batting practice off you. That ball was a screaming Mimi. You can't hit one better than that. That's a line shot in his third at bat.
The LA Times, Mike DiGiovanni wrote a great article about Nolan Ryan early in the week, and he was talking about the Texas Rangers pitchers in the past, that when they would give up home runs, he said they showed no emotion. He said that's got to change. That's when he started thinking if he ever got in position to have an influence on the pitching staff, he'd tell them that's not tolerable. Here's a ball struck off the wall, and they're just diving over the plate on the Angel pitchers.
Scioscia's really not a strong advocate of certainly hitting guys, and no one is. I mean, you don't want that to happen. But there's about a 6 or 7 inches inside of the plate. Sometimes it's okay to move their feet, dust them off the plate, even throw a curveball at their feet. I got nailed. I got hit by a ton of pitches in my day, and I'll tell you, and I was the guy they always would go after when a guy needed to be hit. And so that would kind of make me a little bit apprehensive, just like Andrew Jones in that first pitch.
And look at this. Tremendous blast to left field, and they're teeing off on the Angels. That's 5 home runs tonight, and nobody's been pushed off the plate. Texas has just taken the lead over the New York Yankees for most home runs in the major leagues with a batting practice display at Angel Stadium.
It's just you can't stop it, but they can loosen a few batters up. And I'm not saying that they should, but look, they're just way too comfortable in there. Thompson, he had no problem getting the first 2 outs.
The final one has been really tough. A home run, a double, and a home run. Here's David Murphy, and there's a breaking ball. It's the outside corner, strike 1. But as Nolan Ryan said, Rex, he said there's an art to doing that, making guys uncomfortable. It's not about hitting guys or headhunting. It's about knowing when to pitch in and developing the ability to do it. Developing the ability to do it.
Obviously, some starters of the Angels have not developed that yet, and they're hoping that maybe they will.
8-1 Texas.
I mean, a real good example of that is Joe Saunders. He's given up to right-handed batters 18 home runs to right-handed batters. That's just righties. Lefties only 2, but that's way too many for him. His stuff's too good for that, but that just tells me they're comfortable sitting out over the dish on him.
I think a hitter feels less comfortable even if a pitching machine hits him occasionally.
Well, there's a little bit of fear factor involved. But Nolan was in a different league because he had a 98, 99 mile an hour fastball, and that got hitters' attention.
Well, this has gotten real bad real fast for the Angels.
You knew that could happen with this team. We chronicled that. This is the game where the Angels wanted to establish their home territory here, asking the Angel fans to wear red and everything during this series here, big series, but they are not establishing home turf here.
And now the Angels without 2 of their best sluggers, Vlad Guerrero and Torrey Hunter, because of injuries. Vlad because of the tendon in the back of the knee, and Torrey Hunter because of the ab groin area injury. But the Angels, really their biggest question mark has been their pitching staff. Both starters and bullpen, and certainly injuries and tragedies have a lot to do with that. Taylor Teagarden blasted a home run, his first of the year last time up. Texas with 5 home runs, the most they've ever hit on the road is 7, and they've done that twice. The most they've ever hit in one game was 8, and they've done that twice, once against the Angels and once against the Astros. Both came in 2005. Foul.
Teagarden, this guy, he's a very good young player, and he's going to be an excellent starter someday. But he's having to bide his time a little bit here. And Saltamaki is not exactly an older guy either. So they got 2 young catchers. They had Gerald Laird. He became expendable. They said, okay, we'll let him go. And they let him go to Detroit, and he's an everyday catcher there. But they have 2 guys a lot like the Angels, Napoli and Mathis. 2 catchers that could catch every day if just given the opportunity.
Teagarden out of the University of Texas. Saltalamacchia signed early with the Braves out of high school. Fastball upstairs. It's a 2-2 count. Thompson's thrown 21 pitches in the inning. Young grounded out. Hamilton grounded out. Jones hit his 3rd home run of the game. Blaylock doubled. Bird went deep. 8-1 Texas. in there. Strike 3 call, but in the inning, 3 runs on 3 hits. Sleeping the last 2 years, and he has come alive. Now has 14 home runs this year, and he has put a dent on the Angels. He has 4 home runs against the Halos in the last 2 games. Eric Ibar will lead it off for the Halos. He'll be followed by Sean Figgins and Meiser Turris.
Jeff Mathis, I'm a little worried about his ears. Heck, he needs some earplugs. It's got pretty loud. Now the Angels can just try to get some runners on. Don't give away any at-bats. Try to pressure Padilla anyway. They scored off this guy in 1 inning. They've scored 5 runs before. They can get back in this game at least, but they're going to have to find some holes. They've hit the ball hard in their defense, but right at a lot of Ranger players.
A chopper to short. Andres has it. He throws, and man, is saved at first base on the infield hit is Eric Ibar. That is his 18th infield hit this year.
Ooh, man.
Ron Washington will argue.
Man, what a throw by Andrus. Ibar's got a throwing arm, but man, so does this rookie Andrus. Look at him get on top, and I mean, that ball was probably thrown 85, 90 miles an hour at least. And Ibar, he got it. Now let's see if the replay will show it. Looks like they might have gotten him by just an eyelash. But he's safe. He earned it. Ron Washington, he argued. Andrus says, man, what do I got to do?
He's an impressive rookie.
That was a firm 2-hopper to him. Man, it makes it tough to play on the left side of the infield with speed like that.
Sean Figgins now up. He's 1 for 2. Struck out looking in the first, singled his last time up. That's when the Angels scored their only run, and there is a shot down the line. That's a foul ball. Chuck Merriweather said it was foul. Went right over the bag, and I guess just barely inches.
Well, Blaylock, he pretty much had it covered. Now look, he bounces off. He's only like a foot off the base, and he just missed making that play. But Merriweather, he's straddling the bag, looking right at it. So I'm going to go with Chuck on that one. So was so. She didn't argue.
Figgins didn't argue either. Young in at third. He's down the line about 5 feet. Off the line about 10. Blaylock holding the runner. Eric Ibar at first base. Angels trail by 7. Bottom of the 5th inning. 2.
Okay, there's you know, such a thing as not giving up at bats. The Angels, they're very good this year at not doing that. They've been in some games where they've been ahead by a lot, or they've been behind a lot, but they still go out there and give you quality at bats. One of the reasons they lead the American League in batting.
Down low, 2-2.
We used to see Angel teams, 5-6 years ago that were just up their hat, swinging. The complaints whenever they go into a slump, of course, that's the only time people complain when they go off, when they kind of slow down some, was that they swing at way too many pitches. But this year, their on-base percentage is much better, and they got a .281 team average, which leads all of major leagues, not just the American League.
That's something that was addressed in the offseason by Mike Scioscia and hitting instructor Mickey Hatcher. Fouled off. And as a matter of fact, the young players in spring training, Hatcher said, if you guys in the first 3 days you're swinging the bats, if I see you swing at a curveball, you're running a lap.
First pitch.
And he was just talking about curveball. He said, I want you to stand in there and just see the spin of the curveball. We'll get to swinging at the curveball later. The 2-2 pitch is swung on, and again, Sean Figgins putting together a good at bat.
But Mike Scioscia said there was an alarming trend down in the minor leagues that kind of put the light bulb on for him, saying, hey, look, we got too many guys with too many strikeouts and low on base percentages, and that's an alarming trend. We got to stop that. Scioscia, he pretty much has his say on the entire organization, and he's earned that right. And it's made a drastic improvement. Good eye. He wanted to swing at that. That's a tough pitch to lay off of with 2 strikes.
It was 0-2. Now it's 3-2. And you're right. I went and used this young man as an example. Peter Burgess is one of the Angels' top prospects, but he only had 19 walks as a leadoff man last year in 509 at bats. That's changed this year, Peter, at AA Arkansas. Here's the 8th pitch to Sean Figgins. Popped him up, shallow left. Murphy on, Andrus out. Elvis makes the catch. 1 out. Hey fans, the next Kids Run the Bases of the 2009 season takes place following the game this Sunday, July 12th. Move to the front of the line with a Junior Angels Kids Club membership presented by Fox Sports West for just $18. Junior Angels Kids Club members receive first in line access for Kids Run the Bases, an exclusive Junior Angels white or pink mesh jersey, and much more. Log on to angelsbaseball.com and sign up to be a Junior Angels Kids Club member today. Meiser is Turris up, and he swings at the first pitch he sees and sends it to right field for Josh Hamilton. Very quickly, 2 outs now in the 5th.
Yeah, that's Meiser's 3rd at bat. Double. He flew out to the center fielder, and then he popped up there. But see, he'd already seen him, and he knew he was getting a first pitch fastball, and he took a shot at it. Sometimes you do that, and you make up your mind sometimes in the on-deck circle when you're walking towards home plate. The hitter's going to say, you know what? I'm going to get the first one he throws me. That's a good one. And then that's where you call guess hitting comes in. Sometimes you're guessing fastball. They throw you a breaking ball, you swing and miss badly.
Bobby Abreu is 2 for 2 and has driven in the Angels' only run. There is that hook at 55 miles an hour.
Okay, Abreu, that's his first pitch. He says, I'm not going to swing at it, and Morales did. He lined it out. See, that's a beauty. Look at that little thing. You can almost pick it up, but it's hard to pick it up as a hitter because he does have to slow his arm motion down a little bit to take all that velocity off. But that's a beauty.
Comes back with another breaking ball, but this one's 23 miles an hour faster. And so Bobby finds himself down in the count 0-2 on 2 beautifully thrown breaking balls from Vicente Padilla.
Yeah.
Talk about taking speed off of your curveball.
Right. What was the first one? 55?
55.
Okay, that one was 76.
Okay, they had it 78 up on the.
Oh, well, there's two different reads.
Box.
Yeah, we have a monitor for the media down there, a gun, you see. But it's still a big contrast.
And then he throws a two-seamer at 95. He went from 55 to 95 and was not given a ticket. First three times up. Carlos Delgado is the last to do it, September 25th, 2003. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by the Frost Brewed Coors Light. 8-1. Texas leads. Andrew Jones with a two-run home run in the first, a solo shot in the third, and a solo blast in the fifth. He's feeling right, and so is Texas, because if they win the ball game, they'll be back in first place in the American League West by a game.
It is July 8th, though. The Angels really are right where they want to be. They're in, they're starting to establish themselves. The bullpen's coming around. The offense has been good, but we're almost magnifying these three games for first place like it really is something. But if you ask Social, say, we got off tomorrow, who's coming in Friday?
Well, everybody's searching for pitching right now, and the Angels certainly need that, probably another starter and another reliever. And that's before the trade deadline on July 31st. There'll be a non-waiver trade deadline at the end of August.
The Angels have a wealth of talent to choose from. That's the good thing.
Well, a lot of their great young pitchers just aren't ready yet. The Trevor Recklins or the Jordan Waldens or Trevor Bell. Sean O'Sullivan is down in the minor leagues. Will be coming back after the All-Star break, but they didn't need him. So what they did with tomorrow's day off, they're going with a four-man rotation. And the Angels will come back on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with Saunders, Weaver, and Lackey.
All right, we're going Jack in the Box here on Wednesday, July 8th. Outside the box, I'll say it was outside the plate because Mathis couldn't hold on to it. Vizquel scoots on over to third, and then a courtesy run. Again, second wild pitch in the same inning brought him home. That's outside the box from Big Jack, who always lives in.
Rich Thompson to face Omar Vizquel. Omar's 1 for 3 with a double in the third inning. He scored. Three balls and no strikes. Angels won on Monday 9-4 to take a game lead, and Texas won yesterday 8-5. Tie things up again at 46 wins and 36 losses for each team. At the knees, 3-1. But with a win tonight, Texas could move to 11 games over 500, which would match the high water mark this season. Rangers were a season high 11 over once this year after winning a game May 30th versus Oakland. That was also the time that Josh Hamilton went out, and the team has not even played 500 ball since. Hamilton's back, and they're winning again. Vizquel works the walk. You've got Young and Hamilton before Andrew Jones and Kevin Jepson starts to warm in the Angels bullpen.
Well, Hamilton has been a huge factor to this team. There's no doubt about it. I mean, the Texas has won 16 of the last 19 games, and Hamilton has started.
Fastball high. It just gives their lineup that much more of a threat, more balance.
Right. The team's 11 games over 500 with them in the lineup, and one game under 500 when Hamilton's not with them. That's quite a contrast.
Yeah, all you have to say is when he got hurt, they had a 5.5 game lead. And by the time he got back, the Angels were in first place. Michael Young. Young is 1 for 3 tonight with a single, a strikeout, and a ground out. That's hit well. Off the top of the wall, Vizquel goes to third. It's a double for Michael Young.
And the Rangers, they brought their hitting shoes here to Angel Stadium with them. That ball was pounded opposite field. Socha can't bear to watch anymore.
Pitching change here at the Big A.
Or a multi. How about the trifecta? Man, and his team is loving on him. That's Land Rover, designed for the extra extraordinary. And how about Jones? He's getting ready to come up here in this inning, possibly with one out.
Well, he is on deck with Josh Hamilton getting ready to come to the plate. The Angels will send Kevin Jepson to the mound to try and get these Texas Rangers out. They have slugged 5 home runs in the ball game, almost got their 6th on the long smash by Michael Young off the right center field wall. Jepson has pitched well recently, even though he has a rather high earned run average. But Mike Socha talking about Kevin before the ball game and also yesterday, saying he loves his stuff. He's worked on that new slider, kind of a cut fastball that's turned into a slider look. He's gotten a couple of strikeouts on it. Hamilton checks a swing on one that rides in on him. Strike one.
Hey, Jepson has been another Mike Butcher project, and he's asked him to throw a little cutter too, but man, Butcher said that thing is a nasty power slider is what that's turned into. These kids, these young pitchers have very gifted arms, and they can throw hard, but every big league hitter loves a hard fastball, but you got to give him something else. To go along with his 96, he's got a good overhand curve, but now he's throwing a power slider. Butcher called it a cutter before the game, but he said it's turning into a power slider. So we'll see it. Let's look for it and see how it looks. Good time to experiment when you're down by all these runs. There it is.
There it is.
How about that?
At 88 miles an hour.
See that?
Doesn't it look more like a slider
Than a cutter?
Yeah, but that right there is going to be an effective pitch for Jepson, topped to him by Mike Butcher. Pitching mechanic extraordinaire. And you want to know? Ask Jim Palmer. He spent a little time with Mike Butcher. Palmer came up here and raved about Mike Butcher. Talked about how much knowledge
Then
he
he
got.
chases another one down in the dirt, and Hamilton strikes out.
Okay, now that's outstanding with runners in scoring position at second and third, striking out a very good batter.
Here we go. History could be made. Again, only 15 players in Major League history have hit 4 home runs in one game. In the American League, Garrick was the first to do it. And Pat Searay did it, but it took him 11 innings. Colavito in 59. Cameron in 02. Delgado in 03. Jones 3 for 3 with 3 home runs. First pitch is that slider for ball 1.
I like that new pitch from Jepson. Now, he has an overhand curve, and it's a pretty good one. But up here in the big leagues, if you hang it, they bang it. And it's been hit around pretty good. So he's looking for something, and that might be the little extra edge he needs.
In there. 1 ball, 1 strike, and you better believe that Jones is going to go for it. When the team is up 8-1, take a shot at history.
Yeah, with first base open, there might be some fans saying, well, put him on. But you know what? 8-1, you're not going to put a guy on. That's admitting failure right there.
The runners do not advance. Vizquel is at third base and Young at second base.
That shows lack of confidence if you put a guy on like that. They got a lot of confidence in Jepson, and he's got a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, too.
The 2-1. Swung on and missed. He took a rip at a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Tardy. The ball was by him. That's why you don't put him on first. You can get the other out here. But you never know. We saw him hit a 94-mile-an-hour fastball about a foot above the belt against Irvin.
Count goes full 3-2.
But 3 or 4 miles an hour is quite a difference when it's coming that hard.
These guys want to see him pitch to. They do not want to see a walk. He skies it in the air. Right center field is Turris, and shallow center makes the catch. And the Texas Rangers lead 2 on base. Jones may have one more chance. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler with you. All Texas, all night long. They have blasted 5 home runs, 3 by Andrew Jones. And now Vicente Padilla goes to work in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Juan Rivera will lead it off. Then Kendry Morales and Gary Matthews Jr. Texas trying to go 7-2 against the Angels this year. And they have had dramatically great results against the entire American League West. If they win this game, they'll be 17-5 within their own division. Young, quick toss, a skip, and a grab by Blaylock gets the out.
Ooh, nice pickup by Blaylock. That wasn't easy. Michael Young, he has that agility from playing shortstop to throw a sidearm like that. He does a lot at third base because he's used to that. But look at that snow cone right at the end of his glove.
See him stare at it in the end like, oh.
Would have been funny if he would have licked it.
That would have been funny.
Oh, that would have been outstanding.
Or reach in his back pocket, put some sprinkles on top of it.
I don't think so.
Kendry Morales up, switch hitter, batting from the left side. He is 1 for 2, so he's extended his hit streak to now a career best 13 straight games. Angels will have tomorrow off. Then they welcome the New York Yankees Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Chamberlain and Saunders on Friday. Pettit, Weaver on Saturday. Sabathia, Lackey on Sunday. There is Jared. He'll have that Saturday game, and he's very deserving of going to the All-Star game. We'll take a shot at his 10th win before the break. Foul back.
You know, you're talking about Morales' 11-game hitting streak. Excuse me. It's 13 game now. 13 games. You know, you get that hit to continue the streak in your first at bat. That's the best time. Then you can just relax the rest of the time. Even though you don't want your buddies, your peers, your teammates to know that you're thinking about it, you are. The sooner you get it done, now you can go on and play the game. Say if he was waiting to this at bat or maybe even one more, he'd press him just a little bit.
Good pitch by Vicente Padilla, and he strikes out Morales for the 2nd out of the 6th.
Hey, Padilla has been really good.
Angel fans, groups of 25 or more can enjoy an exciting night of Angels baseball for as low as $6 per seat on select home games. Be sure to ask an Angels account executive about the Grand Slam program and added value days. Call 888-796-HALO or visit angelsbaseball.com today for more information about group tickets. Gary Matthews Jr., the batter. He still has that 1,000th hit on the tee, but he just needs to strike it to the outfield, get to first base safely, and he waves at a good breaking ball, and now is down in the count, 0-2.
That's that big slow curve. We didn't see that curve ball at all the first 4 innings. He broke it out in the 5th inning.
That was to Bobby Abreu, 1 at 55, 1 at 78, and then a fastball at 95. If you go from 55 to 95, you get written up and have to go to traffic school.
Yeah, but not out here. And, you know, Padilla, as much as the Angels don't want to tip their cat, they might have to.
That's his pitch speed range in this inning. He had the extremely slow curveball, which takes a lot of guts to throw. Swung on and missed, and down goes Matthews. Down go the Angels. We head to the 7th. Texas blowing out the Halos 8-1. are trailing 8-1. We've had good crowds all 3 games of this series, and after the Angels won Game 1, things were looking good. They almost played a perfect game on Monday. The last 2 nights have been anything but. Their top gun, John Lackey, gave up 6 runs after 2 were out in the 5th inning yesterday, and Irvin Santana lasted only 3 tonight. Only 4, excuse me. Boy, he has taken that cotton candy completely apart.
Talk about focus. Look at that focus. I want you to look at that thing. Making me hungry. Might have to get my Toro sushi order out here. Showing all these people eating food.
Have you ever had the Toro sushi cotton candy? Here's the pitch way outside, 2-0.
Never heard of that, Viz. But you never know the way they invent food. You might have just invented a winner.
Hank Blaylock tonight has been on base all 3 times and having a great series. He now has 6 hits. And he has a pair of walks tonight. He has a single, a double, and now 2 walks in the ballgame as Matt Palmer coming out of the Angels pen to try and cool things off. Thompson came in, gave up 3. Jepson was able to get the final 2 outs in the 6th inning.
Did you just see that juicy Carl's Jr. burger ad right there they just put up on the top of the screen? Man, I am getting really hungry now. I want one of them juicy ones that drip all over everything. Palmer got a good natural sinker. Natural cutter into lefties, good overhand curve. And he's got occasional times he'll pitch up in the zone and get a strikeout.
In there. Bird is grounded out, struck out, and homered. A 2-run blast off of Rich Thompson back in the 5th inning, and that ball struck pretty well to right center field. Abreu's back. He's at the wall to pull it down for out number 1. Blaylock back to first base.
Nothing wrong with that swing on a hook. Palmer's got a good curve. He left it up a little bit. Marlon Bird's shaking his head saying, I almost got that, but look at how he waits. That's a hanger, and just throws his hands, but he started with his hands inside the ball. See, he went to the opposite field. He saw it all the way. The ball was hanging. It was up a little bit. That's why you rely on your defenders to run some mistakes down.
Matt has been both a starter and reliever for the Angels this year.
To me, one of the best stories of the staff all year is Matt Palmer.
7-1 as a 30-year-old rookie facing David Murphy. Murphy with a single, ground out, and walk. This is a guy from a tiny town on the shores of the Mississippi River, Caruthersville, Missouri. He's a fine pitcher at Southwest Missouri State, but a low pick in the 31st round by San Francisco back in 2002. And that ball struck off the foot of David Murphy. It's a foul ball, and Murphy limping back out of that batter's box, some kind of pain.
Home plate umpire Mike Riley, he wasn't sure though. He didn't know if David Murphy was trying to deke him or what, but he didn't make that foul ball call until probably 4 or 5 seconds after he fouled it off his foot. Nice.
Oh man,
that's a shin burger. See, I got burger on the mind now.
It's because of that advertisement they have there.
Carl's Jr. didn't have to say anything. I saw it. That's all it needed. Ooh, man, he missed with that.
I'm not sure if that'll be a wild pitch or a pass ball, but the Angels really a very incomplete game tonight, and it always starts with pitching. Angels got a poor start by Santana, who was lifted after 4. Rich Thompson struggled in his 5th inning. Jepson was able to get him out of trouble in the 6th. Palmer with a wild start in the 7th with a walk, a fly out, and now a wild pitch to move Blaylock into scoring position. Again to start the ball game, Vlad Guerrero and Torrey Hunter out of the lineup. Guerrero with a sword, strained tendon in the back of his left leg, and they will reevaluate in the next day or two. If they're going to wait and try and hear more from Dr. Louis Yoakum about it. Ed Berger, the Angels trainer,
head athletic trainer. They said, you know what, Mike, you know what, they just can't come out and give you a diagnosis until the good doctors check them out. Now, there's layman's term and ball players' term. Yeah, he hurt the back of his leg. You know, they said it was a muscle last night, tendon today, but they don't think it's anything structurally damaged in the joint, which is what we were thinking. Oh, no, he tweaked his knee, and he had a little problem in there with a cartilage or a ligament. But they don't think it's that, so that's good news. But until the good doctor checks him out thoroughly, we'll have that for you as soon as he gets out.
Stroke to right field. Murphy gets a base hit. Blaylock held at third, a first and third situation for Texas in the 7th inning. So the Angels being cautious, but Mike Scioscia said it's mildly reassuring, but whenever you're dealing with tendons or muscles, you want to make sure everything is perfect before sending Guerrero back out onto the field.
Scioscia has a great line. He's always good with his quick humor. He's quick-witted, as good as any I've been around. And he says, you know, I'm not a doctor, but I did sleep at a Holiday Inn last night.
And then he'll give you his diagnosis.
But, you know, nothing's official until he says, I'm not a doctor. Come on. Quit asking me those questions.
Taylor Teagard, the batter, ball in the dirt. Well, the way the Rangers are batting, it looks like Jones will have a chance to get up again. Another chance to belt his 4th home run of the game. Andrew Jones with 3 home runs tonight. Also a home run by Bird and a home run by Teagard. Low. 2-0. Teagard's shot came in the 4th inning on a breaking ball from Santana. When the inning was over, so was Irvin. In the air, right field.
I don't think he'll send it.
Bobby Abreu with the catch, and they do not send Hank. No reason to take a chance. Not with a 7-run lead, and why ask for a play at the plate where Hank Blaylock, who's been so hot, could get injured. So a fly out by Teagard to right field, and the batter will be Elvis Andrus, talented shortstop of Venezuela. Last year he had 295 with 4 home runs at Frisco. That's Double-A. Made the incredible leap to the major leagues, and he has been successful, hitting 267. He's 0 for 3 in this game with a pair of strikeouts. Ground ball foul. Figgins shows it off anyway, and it's just a foul ball, and strike 1 to Elvis.
You know, I would say that's good practice, but Figgy doesn't need any practice on those. But here's a guy that doesn't assume anything, and you can't in baseball. You don't know whether that ball's going to be called fair or foul. You must carry on the play. We've seen him make this play routinely, night after night.
He just airs it out.
Cannon. I sure hope he gets voted in. My finger's a little sore from voting today, but heck, I didn't have much time. I got as couple in as I could. We got some computer geeks out there that can sit there all day long. That's their job. Go ahead and punch Figgy all day.
Vote for Figgy at angelsbaseball.com. Got very easy to do.
Got till 12 o'clock tomorrow?
1 o'clock tomorrow Pacific time.
It gives you an extra hour.
Andrus chops one foul, so he's down in the count 1-2. Texas tomorrow begins a 4-game series with the Seattle Mariners, and the Mariners bounced today. They took a 3-0 lead into the 9th inning and lost to Baltimore. Orioles scored 5 times in the 9th, and they were aided by 2 Jose Lopez errors. Ty Wigginton had the base hit that put them in front. Breaking ball blocked nicely by Jeff. Texas has won 6 of 7. Including the last 5 in Arlington, and the Rangers are really strong, 28-17 at home. And beginning on June 26th, Ron Washington's Rangers will play 22 of 32 games at home. The 4 with Seattle, then the break, and they come back. Another block in the dirt by Mathers. They're home to Minnesota and Boston after the break.
The Texas Rangers, managed by Ron Washington, have made quite a statement this season early. Okay, yesterday was the halfway mark of the season as far as games, and he's doing a fine job. They had an option for him. They picked it up for next year, so at least he has another year after this year under contract. But he has his team playing with some high alert. They know they have to dethrone the Angels.
Ground ball, Figgins squares up, fires a strike, gets his man, no runs across. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Rangers by 7. Howie Kendrick will lead things off. Howie 0 for 2 with a ground out into a double play and pop up. Bottom 7. Kendrick played well down at AAA for 20 games, hitting .346. He worked with their outstanding hitting instructor Jim Eppert down there. Bobby Mitchell, who's the manager, and they were really taking a keen interest because they know how important Kendrick is to the Angels offense at the big league level.
Well, they definitely want him to succeed, and he has the ability to do that, but it's not going to be easy. Never is up here. It's a constant focus battle. Mental. It's a mental game. Foul that one off his foot. Sometimes, you don't really develop the mental toughness till you get to the big leagues and you're playing where the world's greatest players are. That'll really make you have to focus. And Howie's got a great natural ability, tremendous swing, he barrels up a lot of balls. But there's still a lot to learn, and we're all learning. All of us are. We learn something new every day in baseball. I love coming to the yard.
But as you talked about, particularly when you're a young player, there are doubts that you have about your ability when you're going bad. There's a ground ball that strikes off Padilla, and Kendrick will have an infield hit.
Ooh, man, if that caught his pitching finger, that could be trouble. That could ruin his night in a heartbeat. As that ball just deflected, didn't even get to the third baseman. Young. Looks like he deflected a good part of that. Hopefully it was more of his glove. Let's take a look at it in the replay. But if he uses his finger on that, no, you know what? Caught him in the palm. He lucked out. It's not on his pitching finger. It looked like it caught him in the palm of his hand. That's a ball that's a natural reaction for a pitcher. Pitcher's going to just react, but he's done. So he's fortunate it didn't hit off of his pitching finger, either one. But it got the palm, and you could tell he's in some discomfort. And who wouldn't be? It's not easy. Ball hurts.
Out. But leads with the lead.
Pitch by pitch. Watch Abreu's at bat. 58-mile-an-hour slow curve. Next pitch, 78-mile-an-hour curve. And this one got to go. Bobby, that's 95. Now Padilla, he was backed by some great offense tonight as the Rangers gave him 12 hits and 5 home runs. But man, that 3-pitch at bat there will summarize Padilla's night. He was good.
And Texas's offense has been great. 5 home runs. 3 by Andrew Jones. Now they'll bring in Jason Grilli, who's pitched for both Colorado and Texas this year and has an 0-2 record with a 4.55 ERA. He's a veteran, 32 years old, from the state of New York. Went to Seton Hall, where he's an All-American and a first-round pick by the Giants back in 1997. And as the Angels continue this inning, there's nobody out with Kendrick at first base, and Jeff Mathis will be coming up. Really was released by the Colorado Rockies. I'm sorry, he was acquired from Colorado for cash considerations on June 9th.
Hey, Cash is almost as good as a player.
Kevin Cash is a pretty good catcher.
How about Norm Cash? He was a great hitter.
Very good hitter. Hey kids, on Saturday, July 25th, the Angels are giving away the first ever Rally Monkey coin bank to all kids ages 2 through 18 in attendance courtesy of California Pizza Kitchen. Come out to the Big A on July 25th, pick up your free Rally Monkey coin bank, and cheer your Angels on to victory against the Twins. Purchase your tickets at angelsbaseball.com today.
Did you see that Rally Monkey checking out that bank?
Yep, he's been investing. First pitch swinging, Jeff Mathis pops it up on the infield. In comes Blaylock, and there's 1 out.
Grilli, he's got a good sinking fastball. That one didn't sink too much. It was up, and Mathis popped it up with slider and a changeup.
Urban Santana tonight went only 4 innings, gave up 5 runs, including 3 home runs. 2 to Jones and 1 to Teagarden. Dia, meantime, went 6. Really taking over. Ibar 2 for 2. Inside ball 1.
Eric's really been a good ball player this year. Been very consistent. Both sides of the plate and with his glove.
He's up that batting average for 283. And he's been getting on base ever since Howie Kendrick came back. He had 2 hits in the final game, the win over the Baltimore Orioles on Sunday. And then he got the start last night and had a couple of hits and a walk, and he has 2 more hits tonight.
I think most everybody understands it's a performance-based business, and you're paid according to your performances over a period of time. But what managers and GMs look for is production. Either you have pop in your bat or you got speed. You can cause some production with speed, stealing bases, pressuring defenses, playing solid shortstop. That's what this guy does. He brings the speed game. He brings the ability of, like that infield hit he had. He hit a 2-hopper to Elvis Andrus, the shortstop. 2-hopper, firm 2-hopper, not a high bouncer, and he beat it out on a great throw, and he beat it up. And you know, that's the pressure that he puts on defenses. So I would say he's a productive player on both sides of the ball. He's got great range and a good throwing arm.
And he has an ability to be a dynamic offensive player, to be a 300 hitter. He was a 300 hitter in the minor leagues. Fouls it off at T-guard.
Staying alive, not wasting any ABs. Angels have scraped up 8 hits, but they weren't able to get some big hits early in the game up Padilla. They had their chances. They had some runners out there, but they couldn't come up with a big one. They did the first night, but they didn't last night and tonight.
And he strikes him out on a fastball. Kendrick takes second base, and they basically gave it to him. So with 2 out now, the batter will be Sean Figgins. Figgy for All-Star. You can still go both. She knew exactly where the camera angle was, and there's a fastball that's high and outside. By the way, fans, stay with us because Andrew Jones is scheduled to hit 4th in the next inning. And he has a chance to make history, as already has 3 home runs tonight. 1-0 to Figgins is low. Andrews sitting right down next to Nelson Cruz and talking about the good times and the free swings he's had. A 2-run home run in the first, a solo shot in the third, a solo blast in the 5th, and then popped up in the 6th.
How about the 3-run homer last night off of John Lackey?
That tied the game, so 4 home runs last 2 games.
Give up on a veteran player like that. Sometimes that player says, you know what, I'm not quite done yet. I need another chance. Different scenery, different uniform. That's what happened with Jones.
Really painting that outside corner against the Angels. The inning started with Kendrick hitting an infield hit off of the hand of Padilla, knocking him out of the game, really taking over. And now he has issued his first base runner, a 2-out walk to Sean Figgins in the 7th inning. Halos get tomorrow off. Texas immediately flies to Seattle to take on the Mariners for a 4-game series before the All-Star break. When the Rangers come back from the break, they'll be at home to Minnesota and Boston. The Angels will be on the road to Oakland and Kansas City. High to Meiser.
One thing we can tell you, it's going to be an exciting second half inning, or run. It's going to be really exciting, especially if Seattle keeps staying in the race. It'll be a 3-team race.
We told you about that painful loss by the Mariners tonight. They led 3-0 in the 9th and lost 5-3. Other finals, Kansas City lost to Detroit 3-1 as Zach Greinke took the loss. He gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. Torres takes a strike and it's 1-2. Tampa Bay beat Toronto, just snuck by him at the end 10-9. Boston edged Oakland 5-4. The Yankees beat Minnesota 4-3. So some tight ones today in the bigs. Got it on his hands. Blaylock has it. He'll cover first. The 7th is over. Angels are done and they trail 8-1. Giving up 5 runs in 4 innings and throwing a lot of pitches. Now Matt Palmer takes over. The Angels have gone with Thompson, Jepson, and Palmer out of the bullpen. It will be Palmer against Omar Vizquel. And that ball struck to center field, but right at Gary Matthews. And he'll make the catch for the first out. Angels impressive offensively coming into this ball game. They have 5 players batting over 300. They've been averaging close to 7 runs per game the last month of the season. But Padilla squelched some early threats, and then the Texas offense kind of took the entire life out of the Angels. Michael Young, the batter. There's a good 2-seamer on the outside corner for a strike. Young 2 for 4 tonight. In the dirt. Michael just missed a home run his last time up, hitting it high off of the right field wall. Now he's pushed his average to 315. He'll be going to his 6th All-Star game. Might remember that game in 2006, 3 years ago, where he was voted the most valuable player as he got the game-winning triple off Trevor Hoffman in the 8th. And there's a roll up the middle. Ibar throws out Michael, and there's 2 gone in the 8th.
Now there's a ball that's not hit really hard. Palmer, he tried a little Olay backhand there behind his back to try to knock it down, but that'll tell the pitcher that when you have a rangy shortstop, that's an out.
He almost got it though.
Yeah, he did. It's a good try, but that's an out. So that sometimes that reaction, and after you try to bare hand a ball if you're a pitcher and it clips off your pitching hand, and you have some discomfort, might even miss the next start. The next ball that comes at you, you leave it alone. You don't touch it. It's like being burnt by fire. Once you feel that burn, you go, "Oop, man, I remember that. I'm not doing that again." So you wonder how that bone bruise in Padilla's hand's turning out.
Andrew Jones waiting on deck. He has 3 home runs already tonight. Hamilton must reach, or we'll see Jones lead off the top of the ninth. Texas with a lot of base runners tonight. Hamilton stalls at foul. It's 1-2. They sent 6 men to the plate in the first. He scored 2 times. They sent 6 more to the plate in the third and scored 2. They sent 7 men to the plate in the fifth and scored 3. Angels trying for their first 1-2-3 inning against Texas, where no Ranger reached. Vizquel flied out here in the 8th inning, and Young grounded out. Broken back ground ball. Figgins has it. And he gets Josh Hamilton by a couple of steps at first base. 8-1. Rangers. Bottom 8 we go. The game on your computer with MLB.tv. New 2009 MLB.tv premium features include HD quality where available and the ability to pause, fast forward, and rewind live games. For more details, visit angelsbaseball.com, where baseball is always on. Eddie Guardado comes out of that bullpen. And this is a long-time veteran of so many teams. He had great success with the Minnesota Twins. Terrific years in 2002, 2003, where he averaged 43 saves. Now he's a setup guy and a situational guy to face left-handers like Bobby Abreu.
17th year in the majors. This is a guy that has extreme character. Fun, lovable, good sense of humor, but when he gets out there between the lines, he has that closer's mentality. He'll grab that rosin bag, fire it down the ground. There's some deep breathing. He's got a pretty good breaking ball there.
And he has Bobby down in the count, 0-2. Angels have a lefty and a righty, and a switch hitter coming up. Abreu, Rivera, Morales.
You know, in an age right now of all these young pitchers that throw in the mid-90s, you know, as he gets Bobby Abreu, you look in there. He came as a non-roster invitee to the Rangers camp, and he said, you know what, I'm gonna make this team. He went out there and blew all them other kids away with his smarts and his location and all of his experience, and they wanted a guy like him.
Because he's not doing it with his velocity anymore. He's doing it with his guile.
Right, smarts.
Eddie's just 6 feet tall. He lives here in Tustin, just a few miles away.
Yeah, and he's got a beautiful wife, Lisa.
She's at the ballpark tonight.
That's right. They're here with his 3 sons. He's really got a lot left in his life, and a lot of it to live with those youngsters.
Juan Rivera pops up after his great game last night. He settles for an 0 for 4 this evening with his team trailing by 7 runs. So 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Somebody who's been around the game that long, you give back all the time. And Eddie does that, him and his wife Lisa. They hold a charity in Las Vegas where they have a card playing deal where they raise money for autism awareness. And it's fantastic. He's been asking me for the last few years, Hud, come on, you come into my turn. I said, I can't play cards. I don't play poker. I can't even play them. I couldn't tell you. I count with my feet and my fingers, and that's a quick counting game.
So once they get to Jack, Queen, King, it's over for you because you can't count past 10.
I fold. But he said, Hud, it don't matter. I'll come over to the house. Well, I'll teach you a few ins and outs, but I want to be a part of that because it's such a worthy cause of autism. The way it is nowadays, it seems like.
Well, it's good to have players like Eddie and others give back, because when you check out the baseball players' bios, so many of them give back. Justin Spire for the Angels, he'll get teammates together and they'll go over to Children's Hospital, visit the kids, and just put a smile on a face.
It's the little things that are life lasting that you do, and sometimes players don't really realize the power of the uniform and where they are, what they can do. Now, a lot of them understand that, but there are some who don't. Giving is the greatest thing ever.
Henry Morales with a drive to center field. Back goes Marlon Byrd, and he gets there. That's the final out of the 8th inning, but we've got history to be made. If Andrew Jones can go deep, he has 3. Can he get 4? A 2-run smash, 1 in the 3rd, a solo shot, another solo blast, and inning number 5. He made a bid in the 6th, but popped up to the second baseman. So Andrew is 3 for 4 with 3 home runs. The last batter to do it, Carlos Delgado, September 25th, 2003. So here comes Jones, who spent his entire career in the National League with the Braves and the Dodgers before coming to the American League and the Rangers this season.
He took a pretty good rip in his last at-bat, and he skied one to center field.
Jason Bolger is the Angels' new pitcher. He's working with a new third baseman in Rob Quinlan and a new right fielder and Reggie Willits. We're in the 9th.
Thought we might see a few super subs come in, spell these guys an inning before they have an off day.
Angels bullpen tonight. Thompson gave up 3 in the 5th. Jepson a shutout 6th. Palmer shutout for 2 innings. Fastball that catches the low edge. 1-2 to Andrew Jones.
Ooh, man, that's as low a strike as you can get right there. Perfect pitch.
They're the American League 4 home run guys. Gehrig was the first. Delgado was the last. Carlos with Toronto. Oh, and he struck him out on a good breaking ball away from Jones, and his night is very likely over.
And he got that all started with a breaking ball for a strike 1. Bolger threw it to him. Now there's one away, but he threw a nice little hard one down low.
Darren O'Day
got him on the breaker.
Darren O'Day is warming up in the Texas bullpen. Here's Hank Blaylock. Strike 1. Blaylock has singled, walked, doubled, and walked, having a terrific game. And man, has he been hot recently. He went through a slide where he's batting 170 over a month of the season. And about a week ago, he caught fire. And since that time, he's batting almost 400 with 3 home runs and 7 RBIs. He has 6 hits in the 3-game series. Texas trying to take 2 of the 3. Just off the plate. Seems like the base hit that got Hank back in the groove was the game-winning home run he struck at Arlington against the Angels. And he beat the Angels in the bottom of the 9th inning, breaking a 7-7 tie and knocking one over the center field wall off Justin Spire.
For a walk-off.
Breaking ball in there. Hey, Bolger looks really good. Jepson and Bolger very consistent with their pitches the last week or so.
And Bolger has added a changeup. Okay, so both of these young relievers Mike Butcher has worked with says, hey, look, we got to give you a little something extra. You got enough. Look at that.
Got him again with the off speed and strikes out Blaylock.
Some good action. He took a lot off of that. When you take something off of a curve, it's going to break a lot deeper.
We're in the top of the 9th inning. It's good to see these signs. A guy like Jepson came in the 6th inning, was able to strike out Hamilton and get Andrew Jones in a pop-up and look strong. And now Bolger going 1-2 with a pair of Ks against Jones and Blaylock. Certainly it's a 7-run game, but there's always time to work on your craft. That ball struck sharply. Quinlan has it. His throw. Well on the money. 1, 2, 3 go the Rangers in the 9th. After tonight, and this week the Yankees coming to town, and Big Box will be here on Saturday for a 1 o'clock game. In that contest, it'll be Andy Pettitte against the Angels' Jared Weaver. And there's a look at the American League West. They're even right now, but it looks like the Rangers, with an 8-1 edge in this game, will be leading by 1 heading to Seattle. They've got a 4-game series with the Mariners. And tomorrow night, we do know that Felix Hernandez will be pitching. Well, here is a former Angel, Darren O'Day. And he's the sidearmer from the University of Florida. And he has been spectacular after being released by the New York Mets, picked up by the Rangers. He has a solid 1.26 ERA in both the National and American League this year. And he's been pretty tough on right-handed batters. He will face a switch hitter in Gary Matthews Jr. to start the bottom of the 9th inning.
Sinker, slider, changeup, all from the sidearm position. Can be deceptive to righties. Lefty's a little bit easier because he's coming into the lefty.
Ball 1 to Gary. Matthews with 999 base hits in his career. Moved around until settling on a 5-year deal with the Angels. This is the 3rd year of that 5-year deal. And a swing and a miss on a fastball at 85 miles an hour. You won't see O'Day hit 90 very often.
It's all about changing speeds and locating for him, and he does that. He's been doing a great job.
He's allowed 3 home runs this year, all 3 hit by left-handed batters. A strike. His command has been exceptional since he came from New York.
That 172 average against righties puts him in a good spot in late situations with the game on the line against tough righties.
Tried to check his swing. Did he go? They appealed. Did not go. Count even, 2-2.
When the Angels were there a week ago, weren't they saying that he has been their most successful waiver claim?
Oh, ever. We're talking about in the history of the franchise. I mean, a lot of waiver claims don't make it, but this one certainly has. The 2-2, a swing and a miss, and down goes Gary. A strikeout for Darren O'Day. So Matthews in the start for the injured Terry Hunter goes 0 for 3 with a walk. Texas bullpen has been very good. They did allow 2 runs last night, but just 1 was earned as the bullpen made the difference after a 3 2/3 inning start. Bullpen's numbers the last 5 games for Texas, they've allowed 1 earned run in 18 innings. And then tonight they got 2 more. 2 plus and out here. Howie Kendrick. Howie's 1 for 3 in the game. Lined a single off the hand of Vicente Padilla, and that was the last batter that Padilla would face. Kendrick hit it hard. Padilla went after it with his bare hand, and it struck off the palm of his hand and bounced towards third. Chases a pitch that may have missed that strike zone. 1-2.
Just by the looks of that ball that Padilla tried to catch off of Howie, it could have been worse. I don't know. I mean, it might have caught his pitching fingers, but on our replay, it didn't look like it showed it. But the palm of his hand still was bone bruised as possible.
One thing Kendrick was doing down in the minor leagues well, he was really putting himself in good hitters counts. He had 7 walks in 20 games. And he hits that one to center field. Bird backs up, has room. 2 outs.
So the Rangers certainly made their statement coming here. The Angels won the first game. Things were looking good. It was a well-played game. The Angels hit some homers. Planning was going and everything. And then they just got out-hit in the last 2 games.
And then, of course, the Angels losing Guerrero, losing Torrey Hunter today. And they are day-to-day and no timetable on when they'll come back. Hoping Hunter perhaps on Friday, but that's a big question mark right now. Glad day to day. Back of his left knee is sore. Hunter with a groin injury. Angels welcome the Yankees on Friday. Mathis swings, pops it back our way and over our heads. Well, what kind of confidence does this give a team like Texas to win 7 of the first 9 meetings this year?
Well, they're at extreme high right now because they're going on an airplane tonight to fly to Seattle, where they're 5-0 this year against Seattle, so they're feeling pretty good.
A strike on the inner corner, but Seattle's playing much better. They did lose tonight after taking a 3-run lead into the 9th inning and lost to Baltimore 5-3. 1-2 pitch. Mathis swings and misses and strikes out. Ball game over. The Rangers beat the Angels 2 out of 3 in this big American League West Series.
Sure do, and like I said, they made a statement, especially with Jones hitting 4 home runs in the series, 3 in tonight's ball game. What a signature day in a Ranger uniform for Andrew Jones.
First 3-homer game since 2002. Tough game for Urban Santana. He has not pitched well since coming off the DL. Gave up